So I just got through watching The Owl House. And all I gotta say is, that was pretty damn good. That was pretty good. I enjoyed it. I did. It kind of, it totally changed my opinion about the show when I first saw it. When I first saw it, I cut it off. I watched a full episode completely, and I didn't like it. So here's my story with The Owl House. When I first saw it, when it first premiered, I didn't like it. It was just it was like all the other shows that was being aired at the time. Star vs. Evil, The Girl with the Frogs, and the others as well. It was the same thing. Tomboy girl, can't fit in, always causing trouble, you know, goes to another world so she can fit in. This is the same thing over and over again. And they're all being aired around the same time. And it was just like, do you people have any other ideas besides this? This is so, come on, think of something. So I cut the show off until a couple months ago. I started watching the show again. I would watch 2 episodes at a time, and I was able to watch the show without anyone reacting to it or talking about it on social media. It was just me and the show. And this is where I start understanding this opinion that people have is some people like to watch stuff when it's done or when no one's hyping it up or anything like that or going crazy over social media. And sometimes people can influence you not be around certain things sometimes when you watch them or be a part of it because of those people's toxicity within it. During this time the show was airing, he kept seeing these knowing people who would every now and then pop up my timeline on social media, and I'm like, oh my god, go away, and stuff. And the only reason why the show would ever trend is because they did something woke or it was something that was tragic happened, but that's the only time it would ever trend. So that's the only time you guys trend, and the show isn't really worth watching. So I watched the show and there's a lot more to this show, and it sucks how the people who were backing the show up didn't even try and mention that because the only thing they want to talk about was the other stuff, which really sucks. That's what probably made a lot of people not want to give the show a chance because they thought it was a carbon cop out of the other shows that kept airing at that same time. And it really sucked. So I watched the show, and it was good. It has 2 seasons, and it has 3 specials. The reason why it has 3 specials, the show was canceled, but they were allowed to go on Disney Plus and release 3 specials that wraps up to 6 episodes. Because each episode of those specials came on to almost 50 minutes tops. So that equals up to 2 episodes for cartoons. So yeah, and it was good. You could tell they spent a lot of their budget on those last 3 specials because the animation was very, very good. It felt like they got some outside sources though, like some Koreans or Japanese help animate it because it felt completely different from the usual animation I would usually watch from the show itself, and I can tell. So the show starts off with a girl named Lutz. She's a girl, same story. She can't fit in. She's always in trouble. She's making bad grades. She's giving the mom a hard time. So the mom tries to get off to college. She goes to another world, and there she believes she can fit in. She needs 2 characters, Ada and King. They're also outsiders in their own world. One for doing crazy magic and being wanted, and the other one is a mysterious creature that doesn't know who they really are. So they stick together, and you see the friendship. It turns to French. It turns from acquaintances to friendship to family at the end. So each season they grow a stronger bond and also introduce other characters into the show. And Lutz understands how she can use magic in a special way compared to everybody else. She's constantly getting into trouble even in that world. She's always trying to butt in or help other people, but when she's having a problem, she wants to keep everything to herself. So the character isn't a girl boss character. Okay, she isn't doing everything by herself. She isn't always special. And there's a variety of good guys and bad guys. Not all the good guys are men, and not all the bad guys are men, not all the good guys are women. There's a mixture. So I bring that up. Like I told you, there's a reason why people stay away from these kind of shows sometimes, because of what they are expecting from this kind of material. But it doesn't do that at all. It does things where good guys, bad guys have the reason of doing what they want to do. Some are so focused on their own delusion of wanting to be a hero that they're willing to ruin the world just to prove that they can be a hero by saving the mess they created. Ironic is like, and then the same thing with Lutz, who's so focused on trying people to understand her, to accept her, she creates messes that she has to fix, hoping people will appreciate her for it. But that's not the case. You know, she learns that there's more things that she could have done better, even within the real world, where there's this creature, this mimic creature that can shift shape, switch places with her in her world, and she's able to easily make friends with these people in her world, even though she's from another world, showing that Lutz never really tried because she was so focused on something. But then again, she was traumatically stressed in a way. Her father died, and because her father died, the only thing she had for him was the books and also the fantasies that he would enjoy. So because of that, she wanted to live his life by doing those fantasies and stuff. Is what she's good at. She wasn't interested in anything else, only to keep her father there. So that was an understandable piece they brought into the show. I really enjoyed it. And there's other shows and things, and yeah, there's even some woke stuff. Like I said, there's woke stuff in here, but it doesn't it's not in your face about it. And let me tell you about woke stuff. Woke stuff doesn't have to be bad. A good example I like to use for it is BioShock. BioShock is extremely woke. Heck, the most popular character in all of BioShock is Cohen Sanders. And he's gay. But he's the most favorite character in BioShock. And the reason BioShock is a very loved game. But the game is very woke. But why does people still like the game? One word. Subtlety. Subtlety. They're not banging you over the head about it. They're not trying to do this thing that most of the woke shows like to do, where like, yay and stuff like that, and just have to really shove it in your face. No one likes it when Christians were doing it. No one's gonna like it when the woke does it. No one likes it when stuff is just shoved in your face like that. It comes off as off-putting and annoying. So that's all I gotta say about that. But anyway, she learns her lesson. She gains friends, and she even gains a girlfriend. That's right. Within the second season, she gains a girlfriend. This doesn't affect me. I've been watching Pride stuff for years before America even accepted it within the anime. That's all I'm saying. And what I like to say about that is, for instance, the thing made me jealous. It made me jealous. I didn't hate it. It made me jealous. Because you know why it made me jealous when Lutz had her girlfriend and stuff? It's because of this. When you're watching most American shows, even cartoons, and there's always this straight couple that people want to see to come together or confess something, but it never happens. It never happens, or it happens at the very end. Every single time, whether it's Phineas Ferb, Danny Phantom, Very Odd Parents, or even Jimmy Neutron, and even like all their shows, every time there's a guy and a girl that likes each other, the other one likes the other one, it's always one-sided or it never goes anywhere. Heck, even with Hey Arnold, we all knew Helga liked Arnold and she dropped the ball during the movie. We think that should have been it, but nope. But then the show ended years ago. Then years later, they came out with a Jungle movie on Netflix, and then she finally confessed, and they started going out. Yeah, at the very end. Same thing with Danny Phantom. Same thing with Chowder. Same thing with Very Odd Parents. Timmy was so obsessed with one girl that didn't care for him like that. But then he finally ends up with Tootie. But that's like a thing they did with a freaking live action. It's like, we would never get that satisfaction with our stuff. Heck, Marco and Star didn't get together until the very freaking end of Star vs. Forces of Evil. And by the way, that show fell off after season 2. Oh my god, it fell off. It really did. But now we have this show. It's like, yo, why can't we have this? Why can't we have the characters get together in the middle of the show instead of at the very freaking end or never at all? Like, they always gotta do that to us. BS. BS. So anyways, right at the side. Like I said, the show had 2 seasons, but something was going on where Disney was cutting its fat, and unfortunately for its tax write-offs, it canceled the Owl House. But the Owl House, when Disney Plus came around, they did it's 3 specials. And it's 3 specials when they went loose, and like I said, it was the peak of the show. Editing came full circle, editing came together, great finale, it was amazing. But then there's the stuff that people were complaining about when it comes to the subtlety, when it comes to doing woke stuff. At the end of subtlety, like the first episode, where Les showed her new girlfriend to her mom and stuff, and then all of a sudden the rainbow started appearing and all this stuff, and just like you didn't need to do that. You didn't need to do that. People, it's just a little thing. It's not just a little thing. It's many of the things. And then the mom starts wearing this pride badge on her heart, the heart and the rainbows in it. And it's like, that's nice. But then she starts wearing it throughout the entire thing, even when she's 18 years old, still wearing it. And it like bothers me because it just sticks out so much. Like you're trying to pay attention to the mom, but your face goes directly towards the badge the entire time. It's like, really? Really? It's just that it feels narcissistic, is all I'm saying. It feels really narcissistic. And not in a good way, because you can do good narcissistic. But this just feels like pompous, in your face, kind of thing that's just so annoying. It lacks subtlety. And because of that, it drove people away. But there are lessons to be learned, confessions to be made, and resolves that had to be dealt with. And it was great. There were some things you had to rush, like one of the other bad guys that showed up out of nowhere, which wasn't given a really good origin story. Which people like, I feel like this bad guy just shows up out of nowhere. Like, literally, you don't see him through season 1, only towards the end of season 2, and that was it. Other than there's hints and pieces of him existing, but they didn't really bring it up to it that much. So it was poor taste, in my opinion. Very bad decision. At the end, I still enjoy it nonetheless. It had its flaws. All shows have flaws. But to me, it was the same flaws that you keep getting out of these kind of shows. Is the reason why people don't want to go to these shows. It's the same problems that it seems like no one wants to fix, unfortunately. So, who are my favorite characters? My favorite characters, believe it or not, aren't even the humans or demons. It's 2 creatures. It's Hootie, the owl that guards the owl house, and Pancake, or no, Flapjack, the little red bird, Flapjack, the red bird. Amazing characters. Oh my god, I know Hootie is just this weird thing that disturbs everybody for how weird he is, but not only can he talk, he can walk the walk. He can go and kick anybody's butt. He is so convenient and strong, but yet he just makes everyone disturbed by the things he does. Every time he does something, everyone has this gross look on their face, like, ugh. I love Hootie. And Flapjack is just an adorable bird with one eye that cares for someone who's very broken. And he looks after them. And it's just so wholesome. And it tears me up towards the end a little too, what happened. Flapjack's just an adorable little bird. But I guess normal characters, Hunter. I guess I like Hunter. Hunter is a very misunderstood boy who was lived and groomed to know only one way of life, so therefore he was oblivious to everything else. But then he starts understanding things. He had to rediscover himself, finding out who he truly is. So there's that as well. So yeah, The Owl House, once again, is good. It's really good. I say it's a must watch. There are some things you gotta get over, especially towards the last 3 specials. Towards the end, where he's let loose on certain things, but it's still good nonetheless. So yes, Owl House definitely gets a must watch from me. Enjoyable. Loved every minute of it. Now I gotta go back and watch the frog thing again. See how I feel about that. So anyways, I got out of this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, like, comment, subscribe, of course. Hit that bell icon. This has been Madcrownxox. I'm Anime. Signing out.